Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and 2026 has just begun, but already this year is ours. It is ours for the taking, and let's start with something that caught my eye a little bit through just the opening shot outside of what looks like is this. Again, my U.S. geography is sometimes a bit hit and miss with me. Is this supposed to be meant to be like sort of like southwest, like Arizona or like New Mexico and stuff like that? But that was the very first thing I saw. This is a reminder of the power of hope in the darkest of times. And you know what? Let's start this year with just this opening impression. Now, in 2025 alone, I applied for 400 jobs. And I even as I'm recording this, I have not heard I have been unsuccessful for all of them. And on the face of it, it's really hard for me to I honestly I'm a little bit shocked as to why, because about 10% of all these have actually asked me in for interviews, but then either said they that I didn't that I wasn't what they were looking for, or they never actually ever responded to me ever again to say whether I was unsuccessful or not, because they couldn't be bothered to tell me, because quite frankly some of these businesses are straight up cowardly in their responses. And I personally, ladies and gentlemen, and take this as there could be somebody out there right now who may be going through this exact sort of stage of hell, and that is, I consider it a great offence to work for somebody, to do somebody some work, who is completely unable at being truthful and honest with me. I would feel much more at liberty to be alongside somebody who was true and honest. Because you know what? I'll be grinding my arse off for them, because they're the ones who have to pay my salary. So yeah, I think a level of truth and honesty. What are we even coming to in this day and age, where I've got to be truthful and honest to somebody, but they don't have to be truthful and honest to me? It's just not going to work. And even at this stage, as of the recording of this video, sometimes, in the words of the famous song, it's just one of those days where you don't want to wake up. Everything is fucked. Everybody sucks. You really don't know why, but you want to justify ripping someone's head off. No human contact, and if you interact, your life is on contract. Your best bet is to stay away, motherfucker. It's just one of those days. Do you think Fred Durst was like playing Postal or something when he decided to write break stuff? Because it sounds something straight up from the very first Postal game, which turns 30 years old next year. But 2027 is still 365 days away. And it was exactly 1 year ago today, on New Year's Day, is when my life was completely turned on its head. And I am still, even as I'm speaking, I am still going through absolute hell. However, there is hope in the darkest of times. That's sort of where we bring it back to. And to be honest, what better way of bringing it all back to this feeling of hope than we do for the first band we take a look at this year, Methane. Now, I'm not necessarily going to go over the history me and Methane have, because you know what, if nothing else, these guys are just content doing their own thing. And you know what, I'm very content doing my own thing, because you know what, it's quite fun, actually, to be honest. And what's more important, doing what you love or just doing it because it's the only thing that's going to keep you alive? And I don't know exactly. It can be difficult, because I know that CJ from Blood Feast, because I didn't even know this was even a feature on YouTube where you can do a collaboration between Methane and HGR Metal Music Agency. I've never seen that before on YouTube. I'll have to see if it's any good. But with that being said, I think this has been very, very long overdue. And I think this will be a good way to welcome these guys back. So with that being said, for our first video of 2026 is a blood red sky. Just hope it's loud enough. I can't tell if that's loud enough. That's the done thing. Okay, 34. That should be yeah, okay, let's try it again. Oh, it's like it's like marching from the distance. It's like something out of a Clint Eastwood film. (1861) Yugoslav stronghold thousands of southwestern Native Americans and relocated known as the Long Walk, which of course abandoned their ancestral lands. Oh. The spirit of the people endured and clung to their traditions, stories, and language, fighting to reclaim their identity. This is a tale of resilience, a reminder of the power of hope in the darkest of times. Cry into the blood red sky. You know what? Just to start off this year, I'd say we're already off onto a very, very good start. Honestly, you know what? Against the thing that sting, I'm going to use the word sting, and it's really, really cool. Just from the word go, is that, you know what? It's nothing if not topical. I mean, yeah, let's not forget about long walks, long marches. These sorts of things have occurred all throughout history, and you know what? The things that the Native American people went through, yeah, absolutely. It's because I think I've heard it before that Methane, they have a bit of an isn't it they've got a very interesting outlook towards like Americans. Like they didn't like the idea of Trump's wall at all, and I think they even did a vlog or something like that when they were down in like southern Texas, and it was a completely flat field, and they were like, oh yeah, Trump's wall is well underway. Yeah, historians in the future will look back at like, what the hell were they thinking? But there is a but though. It's no surprise, ladies and gentlemen. You know what? Resistance is, well, not only far from futile, but it is something that people will absolutely take to the streets, and they will fight back for what is rightfully theirs. Because, well, who says that anyone is allowed to... Does this all sound familiar? Because I think it sounds a little familiar for things that have been going on in the last 3 years, let alone what's been happening, well, in the next 3 years. You never know. Like, the way the world's going, ladies and gentlemen, it wouldn't at all be surprising if Methane managed to, and I do mean this somehow, they go so far as to, well, somebody will do a video about all the things that have been going on in all over East Asia, in West Asia, I should say. And I think that's kind of it. The thing again, and it's a striking visage, ladies and gentlemen, of savagery and fighting back against the things that and you know what? I think it's the sort of thing we know fine well what it looks like. You feel you have something robbed from you that you feel you were perfectly entitled to, and then all of a sudden they declare war. But you know what? In the words of the famous video game, if they want war, we'll give them war. And you know what? That's what I feel like 2026 is going to be all about, ladies and gentlemen. They took something from me. They probably took something from you as well. So you know what? We are going to get it back. Don't lose sight, ladies and gentlemen. Don't lose hope. We're bringing it back to stay. And with that being said, I will look forward to seeing all of you guys again next time. Thank you.